It's 7:43 p.m. Dinner is on the table. The family is together. Everyone is finally home. And yet, no one is really present.
Honey, can you put the phone down for 1 minute?
Yeah. I'm listening.
But they're not listening. Their eyes are glued to a screen. Their fingers move on autopilot. And here's the scary part. This doesn't feel like a choice anymore. It feels like a habit they can't turn off.
Just one more scroll. Just one more video. Just one more message. I don't want to miss anything.
Parents think this is normal now. They tell themselves it's just the new world. But more and more experts are saying something very different. They say we didn't just give kids technology. We quietly replaced childhood with it. And that is exactly what Jonathan Haidt warns about in his book, The Anxious Generation. Chapter 1, The Childhood Swap Nobody Noticed. Let's rewind. Not to the 90s. Not to the 70s. Just to a world that's barely 15 years ago. Back then, childhood had a rhythm. Kids went outside. They got bored. They invented games. They fought, they made up, they tried again.
No rules, you're the monster, run!
They learned confidence the hard way. They got rejected. They got embarrassed. They failed in front of friends and survived it. But then something changed. Smartphones didn't just enter childhood. They moved into the center of it. And suddenly childhood got split into two worlds. Now instead of play-based childhood, we created something new. Phone-based childhood. And it came with a hidden cost. A cost kids can't explain. But their nervous systems feel every day. Chapter 2. The 4 Things Kids Lost. Here's what Haidt's message really comes down to. Kids didn't just gain screens. They lost freedoms. Freedoms that used to build strong brains. Kids used to roam, walk to a friend's house, ride bikes, explore. Now, they sit in one place and travel the world with their thumb.
I'm not bored. I'm busy. I'm watching. I'm scrolling.
But the body stays still, and the brain stays overstimulated. Kids used to learn real friendships by practicing. You say something awkward. You apologize. You learn timing. You learn tone. But online friendships aren't trained the same way. Online friendships are measured with likes, views, snaps, streaks, and kids start confusing attention with connection. A kid alone with friends used to build independence. Now, parents can track them anytime, text anytime, call anytime. So kids don't learn independence. They learn dependence with Wi-Fi. This is the big one. Unstructured play teaches risk, resilience, creativity, and leadership. But phones remove the need to create, because entertainment is always ready, always waiting, and the brain stops practicing boredom. Even though boredom is where imagination begins. Chapter 3. How phones turn normal stress into anxiety. Now parents ask the big question. Okay, but why does this create anxiety? Because phones don't just show content. Phones create a 24/7 emotional environment, and kids are living inside it.
You're still awake. It's midnight.
I'm just checking something.
But that something becomes everything. Late night scrolling, endless drama, fear of missing out. And without sleep, the brain loses its ability to regulate emotions. So small problems start feeling like emergencies. A kid tries to read, and they get restless within seconds. Not because they're lazy, because their brain has been trained on fast content. Swipe, scroll, refresh, swipe again. Real life starts feeling too slow. School feels unbearable. Conversation feels boring. Everything feels harder than it should. In real life, embarrassment ends. Online, embarrassment lives forever. One bad photo, one group chat moment, one comment, and suddenly kids aren't just social. They're being judged constantly.
Did I say something wrong? Do they hate me? Why did they leave me on read?
That is not confidence. That is a nervous system scanning for danger. Every day. Chapter 4. Why this hits girls and boys differently. This part matters. Phones don't damage every child the exact same way. Many girls get pulled into comparison. Beauty pressure. Perfect bodies. Perfect lives. Perfect filters.
Why don't I look like that? Why is my life not like theirs?
And many boys get pulled into isolation. Long hours alone. More gaming. More pornography exposure. More withdrawal from real-world challenges.
Real life is too stressful. Online feels easier.
Different paths. Same destination. Less resilience. Less face-to-face practice. More anxiety. More loneliness. Chapter 5. When being good becomes more important than being real. Some children don't grow up anxious because they're weak. They grow up anxious because they're trained to be good. Not kind good. Not honest good. But convenient good. The child who never interrupts. The child who never argues. The child who never complains. The child who always says, okay. And adults love this child. Teachers praise this child. Everyone says, what a well-behaved kid. But inside that child, something is happening.
If I take up space, I'll be too much. If I speak up, I'll ruin the mood. If I need something, I'll be a problem.
So they become experts at reading rooms. They learn what makes people smile and what makes people pull away. They start monitoring every word, every tone, every reaction. They laugh when they're nervous. They nod even when they don't understand. They say, I'm fine when they're not. From the outside, it looks like maturity. But inside, it's hypervigilance. Because a child who always tries to be easy to handle is a child who never fully relaxes. And when a child never relaxes, their body stays in alert mode. That alert mode becomes anxiety. So chapter 5 is simple. When being good becomes more important than being real, the child learns to hide parts of themselves. And hiding always creates pressure. Chapter 6. When love feels conditional. Most parents would never say love is conditional. They would never mean it that way. But children don't measure love by intention. They measure it by response. They feel it when warmth changes after a mistake. They feel it when attention disappears. They feel it when connection becomes distance. Sometimes it's not even words. It's the sigh, the long pause, the disappointed look. And suddenly the child stops thinking about what they did and starts thinking about what they are.
If I mess up, I might lose them. If I disappoint them, I might lose closeness.
So the child becomes careful, not because they respect rules, but because they fear disconnection. They start managing the room. They adjust their behavior to keep peace. They try to predict your mood before they speak. They become a small emotional caretaker. But children were never meant to carry that job. Because when love feels like something you must earn, the nervous system stays on watch. It becomes, don't upset anyone. Don't make mistakes. Don't be the reason things go wrong. That pressure builds silently, until anxiety becomes the child's default setting. So chapter 6 is simple. A child who believes love can disappear will live like they're always one wrong move away from losing it. Chapter 7. When the child stops trusting themselves, anxiety isn't only fear. It's also doubt. Doubt about decisions. Doubt about feelings. Doubt about identity. This happens when children are over-directed, over-managed, over-corrected. Every choice gets guided. Every problem gets solved. Every moment gets controlled. And slowly a child loses something precious. Their inner voice. They stop asking,
What do I think? What do I feel? What do I want?
and they start asking,
What do they want me to do? What's the right answer? What won't get me in trouble?
that's when anxiety becomes automatic. Because when you don't trust yourself, every decision feels dangerous. Even small ones. What to wear? What to say? Who to sit with? What if I choose wrong? So the child freezes. They second-guess everything. They replay conversations in their head. They look for approval before they move. Not because they're incapable, but because they were never trained to feel safe choosing alone. So chapter 7 is simple. The more a child relies on external direction, the more they fear making a wrong move by themselves. And that fear becomes anxiety. Final thought. Give them back their childhood. Parents don't need to be perfect. They need to be brave. Because if we don't protect childhood, no one else will. Apps are not designed for your child's peace of mind. They're designed for attention. Algorithms don't care about development. They care about time. So if you take one message from this video, let it be this. Childhood is not something we can download later. It has to be lived. Outside. With people. With boredom. With mistakes. With real play.
I don't need a perfect life. I need a real one.
If this video made you think, comment below. What age do you think kids should get a smartphone? And if you want more videos inspired by best-selling parenting books, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.